So, like I was telling you earlier, I have the EM Nikon 35mm film camera, and this is my journey to learn how to use it. I purchased this camera because it was the easiest camera to use film-wise, being that it is aperture priority. You don't have to set shutter speed. All you set is your f-stop on the lens, and your ISO is based off the film, and everything works itself. Now keep in mind, I'm still new to film, and I'm just learning it. I come from the digital side, so my wife, my beautiful wife here, is going to be my subject for my first roll. All the film was in. I took a couple of shots. I took the cliche mirror selfie, and now I'm just going to snap a couple with her on this 24mm 2.8, and then I'm gonna jump over to an off-brand 100 micro 2.8 to see how that one works for me. So rock with us for a little bit. Okay, so I switched over to this off-brand 100 macro 2.8. Same way, it tests, change the f-stop down here, and just gonna take a couple of this, we'll see how it rocks. Hopefully focus is better. All right, so now that I finished the first test roll my film with my wife, and I took a couple of other images, I'm gonna roll this back up into the, let's see if it works, let's see. There we go. Oh, all right, heard a little click. It stopped rolling. So let's see. Boom. First roll is done. Drop this in here. Gotta remember that one's done. Put a mark on it or something so I can remember. Take my new one. And we're ready to go. So now that film is ready to go, this one is used. I'll mark it. I can go out and test this next film. Film I'm using, black and white. I'll let you know how it goes. I just heard some like a little winding noise. I don't know what it is. I guess I would take a picture of this Christmas tree. Even though by the time I get it back, it won't be Christmas anymore. I don't know how appealing the image is gonna be, but I got it, right? Let's see. So black and white film, I'm looking for contrasty images. To darken the light. It's a cloudy day, so I'm not really sure how well that's gonna happen. I mean, how good the image is gonna be, but we're gonna see what we can do. So just came down to put this new, well, my new Nikon EM film camera to the test, 35mm. Basically, it's my first film camera, and I brought this camera because it was one of the easiest that you can use from my research. It's basically aperture priority, so the only thing I can set is my ISO, and I can set my f-stop on the lens, but the camera does the shutter speed and everything else. So, initial thoughts. I'm doing all black and white film. I probably shouldn't have done that in the beginning because I'm so concerned about, you know, small things like just the composition and, you know, shadows, light versus dark. I probably should have did color just to make it easier for me, so I didn't think so much about composition and stuff of that nature. But it's where we're at now. So, just initial thoughts on shooting film in general. Coming from the digital world, it's kind of, I guess, frustrating not to be able to know what your images look like, and then realizing that you gotta wait weeks until you get it developed and scanned to really feel like if you got a good image or not. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but we're gonna give it a couple of more test rolls and see what we can do. Other than that, if I have any more conclusions, I'll come back to you after this. Still recording on the mic, kid. All right, so check it. My daughter has energy. She's bad, so we do what we can with her. But great time downtown. It's raining outside, so I guess that was as good a time as any. But we're about to wrap this up, kid, because it's cold. Everybody get in the house. Thanks, wife.